Hello and welcome to the Gary Dunn Show for October 21st, 2025. I'm your host, Gary Smith, and on today's show, we're going to take a look back at an exciting Saturday afternoon of Vulcan football, and then we're going to look at everything that's happening in the PSAC and then preview this upcoming week's opponent, IUP. But first, Coach, anything exciting happened this week? Was it kind of a laid-back weekend for you to do some yard work? Well, how was it this week?
Great week in California. Anytime that you've got homecoming, it's special around here, and we invite our alumni back. And man, what a great day in California. Just to have the amount of people and the crowd that we had and the different eras of Vulcan football represented. I'm sure we're going to get into it. We honored the 2005 team for their 20th anniversary of the PSAC championship. We honored Rick Bertinoli and Mike Conti, two longtime head coaches here. Man, what just a great day in California.
And we were talking a little bit before we started shooting, just the activity and the amount of enthusiasm. First in the parking lot, Vulcan Nation's been great with the tailgates this year, but somehow they managed to even outdo what they've done the first couple home games this year. Because I know you said walking in, it was wall to wall, and you're getting in pretty early for a football game.
A few hours before the game, and it was packed. I'll tell you, Davis and Dennis Slagle are friends of ours and supporters of Vulcan Athletics, threw a huge tailgate out there. My wife, God bless her, and my daughter host the tailgate every weekend. That was huge. The 2005 team was out there. It was just a great day for Vulcan football and to celebrate this institution.
Well, I think Sid, if she wanted to run for mayor of California, she might do pretty well because she knows everybody in that parking lot by name, I think.
Yeah, it's how impressive though. It's just to get everybody together and celebrate this place, like I said, and have a great day for Vulcan football, and it makes a difference for us. It makes a difference for our guys when we play in front of a packed house. It makes a difference from our guys when we pull up into the parking lot, and it's an atmosphere. We had probably our biggest recruiting visit on Saturday. Purposely, we do it on homecoming, and those guys were impressed. Just a great day for Vulcan football.
And once we get into the game, 3 o'clock start, as you mentioned, 3 o'clock has enough time for the parade and festivities and stuff. But once you strap the helmets on, it's go time, and it was a tough afternoon. We knew Clarion was going to come in there. They came into the game 5-1. Yep. They've been playing well. We've been playing well. We knew it was an immovable object meets, whatever kind of situation, and it played out like that for the first half.
Yeah, I really thought we started well. They won the toss and deferred, and we took possession and had a really good drive. I think it was a 12 or a 13-play drive where we ran the football, we threw the football, we were effective. We get on and take a lead 7-0. So it was a good start today. I really thought we dominated the first half. I think we went into halftime, correct me if I'm wrong, down 14-10. We talked to our guys at halftime that I really felt like we dominated the entire first half. I think the time of possession was something like close to 21 minutes to 9 minutes in time of possession. We controlled the football. We did some good things. We didn't turn it over. But Clarion's offense is really good, and their quarterback is a really talented kid that does a great job. I think he's a fifth-year senior. He had a good game, but I just felt like at halftime, man, we dominated that half, and here we are, down. So it was the message to the team was do the same thing, like just dominate the second half like you did the first, and things will work out for us.
And when we were putting the graphics in for the halftime stats, we always check mark who's leading in the category, and Cal was ahead in everything. And then you look at the scoreboard, and you're wondering, what happened. It's just one of those games where field position Clarion took advantage of. Yep. But then, a little bit longer halftime because of the homecoming festivities. What do you tell your team? What's the message in the team in the locker room?
Yeah, we get in and we break up offense and defense, and we talk about things that we want to do in the second half, things that we need to do better, some things that we want to take advantage of on both sides of the ball. I thought the coaching staff did a great job of keeping the guys calm and understanding, that really every game now is a one-possession game. If you look all over college football, with the clock rules that they implemented a couple years ago, you get less possessions, you get less time. A lot of these college football games now are coming down to one-possession games. So we got to figure out a way to win, win that possession, and that's what we did.
It seems like all season long, even going back to last season, your team is specialized in keeping everybody in the stadium to the end, but from about the 5-minute mark left in the third quarter to the very end, that was a back-and-forth affair. I mean, that's just a good college football game. Both teams were making plays on offense. Both teams were making plays on defense. We're not going to get probably to even to scratch the surface of what happened, but I mean, there was a couple plays. You know, your defense came up towards the end of the fourth quarter with a big pick at the goal line, a couple big runs in the third quarter. I know we're kind of going back and forth, but it was just that kind of a game where things were happening.
Yeah, I thought the one area we got to do a better job. We were up by 3, and we got a 3 and out from them, and they punted it to us. We got a nice punt return. Deontay Williams, I think, had a 28 or 29-yard return that got us to the plus side of the field. We've got to take advantage of that, and that was our only 3 and out of the day. You know, give Clarion credit. They made a good play on first down. We got a penalty on second down. You know, so now we're backed up and behind the sticks. That's a possession that we talked to our guys about yesterday that we've got to score points there to take a 2-score lead. Late in the third quarter, we probably, if we put a drive together there, we probably would have killed the third quarter. You know, that was a big possession. Then you flip it over. Our defense does get a turnover. You know, at first they say it's on the it's a touchback on the 25-yard line. Then they change it to we're on the -1. I thought that was a good drive. We dug it out of there. We got a couple first downs. We got to the 25-yard line. You know, I think there's 3 minutes left to go in the game, if I'm not mistaken. You know, if we keep that drive going, then, you know, the game's different. But we sent Andrew Gonzalez out there. He hammers a punt for plus 50 with no return. So, okay, here we are. There's 3 minutes left to go in the game. We understand that you know, the motto of our team is we're going to play 60 minutes regardless. You know, we get them to 3rd and long. 3rd and 18, I believe, and they convert. Vulcan Nation can go back and watch the film. Yeah, I think everybody knows where I'm going, but you know, they made a play and the official made a call, so we got to live with it. We got to play the next play. Unfortunately, they go down and score, and so now with, you know, I think under a minute or maybe just over a minute left, we're down 4 points, but you know, we play 60 minutes around here, so you know, we're going to go and give them everything we got in a 2-minute drill situation, and we fumble. So.
And I was going to say, after that fumble, that's really whenever you see the true grit of the team come, because I mean, in that situation, you know, it's easy to hang your head. It's easy to think, okay, there's a minute and 45 seconds left. But you had 3 timeouts left. You have a great special teams, and your defense held them to a 3 and out and a field goal attempt that would have put it up 3, and then Cedric Vessa comes up with a huge block.
Sure. You know, having 3 timeouts was the difference. You know, I knew they were going to run it 3 straight times. We knew they were going to run it 3 straight times. To be able to get 3 timeouts called in a row, you know, and then right now we're leading the country in block kicks. You know, we take great pride in it. Coach Papley and Coach Turner do an unbelievable job of coaching our guys, and that's one of the things we preach to our guys in preseason camp. That we never take a play off here. We're going to play that play as hard as we possibly can every time because it's a points play. To take 3 off the board there, I don't know that I kick that field goal in that situation because really with 39 seconds left, that's a situation where if you get it blocked and it goes the other way, that could be, you know, AKA Michigan, Appy State a few years ago, right? Or quite a few years ago. But our guys are just going to play the next play, and the whole unit did a good job. Taiwan Bandy got some push on that thing, and Cedric's got long arms, was able to get it up. So now we got a chance, right? You know, we have no timeouts left, but at least we have an opportunity.
And then on the first play, Phaeton Hill, Clarion does a good job down the field, but Phaeton does a good job of scrambling, getting about 12 yards. The next play about the same, and I think everyone's heart stopped whenever he dove for the out of bounds on the sideline. It looked like the Clarion sideline was
of course,
praying that they were staying in bounds, but if you see it on the replay, Phaeton got out of bounds, and then that sets up, you know, 11 seconds left, and just an outstanding play. What was it like for you on the sideline?
I was trying to, honest to God, trying to figure out whether I wanted to kick the extra point or not, because now we're up 2, and if we get a kick block and it goes the other way, they can tie the game with a 2-point conversion. So I was trying to find our offensive coordinator in the melee that was our sideline to really talk that through real quick before, you know, we sent the team out there. But it was chaos on our sideline, and you know, we got to talk to the team about, you know, controlling our emotions a little bit better. But Fate made a play, Deontay made a play. You know, we knew the coverage they were going to be in, and those two guys make a play. The O-line protected it, and give Deontay a lot of credit. He runs hard, always does, punt return, kick return. You know, he's a kid that's going to give you all he's got in the tank, and you know, things worked out. But I thought, you know, if you go back to the entire day, I thought we dominated. I thought we dominated line of scrimmage on both sides. I thought we, you know, I think time of possession was almost 40-20, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct, yep.
You know, we were good on third down. We were good in the red zone. There's some areas that we got to correct. We can't turn the ball over, you know, at the end of the half. We got to at least get 3 points out of that. There's a lot of areas that we have to correct, but I thought we competed, and I really thought we were the more physical team, and really dominated the line of scrimmage. And you know, sometimes the football gods shine on you. You know, they don't. The game is 60 minutes. You know, you don't get any extra points for being up, you know, with 59 minutes left to play. The game's 60 minutes, and we preach that to our guys, and they believe in it, and we find a way to do it.
And there's always some magic happening at Adamson Stadium when the sun starts to go down this time of year. But you're mentioning some stats. Just look at some of these stats. Team 160 yards rushing, 524 total yards, and time of possession was 39-30 to 20-30. So dominant there. Some individual efforts. Peyton Hill 28 of 43, 364 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns. Deontay Williams 9 receptions, 152 yards, and an electrifying touchdown. Magnor 7 receptions, 94 yards. And then 82 yards rushing. Peyton Hill 67 more yards rushing. And then, Coach, the thing, I thought about this about 30 seconds after the game were done. You know, in football history, you know, you have names to catch, the Immaculate Reception, the Holy Roller, Philly Special. I don't know. I can't come up with anything. So that I think should be the Vulcan Nation, because that's one of the most exciting ends, you know.
Yeah, I agree, but it's time to move on. Right? You know, we talked to our guys, and it was good for them to be able to. We had a lot of former alumni here, especially a lot of proud of our young alumni. So they, you know, when we talked last week, for me, homecoming was all about those guys that you had played with that graduated, right? To have those guys back. Now, I did tell them on the sideline. Somehow they snuck onto the sideline, and I tried to tell them this is for donors. I know you guys just graduated a year or two ago, but we got to start giving back to the program a little bit if we're gonna be on the field.
Yep.
But a good day for our guys, and the work that they put in. I was happy that they could celebrate it. We met yesterday at 11 o'clock and talked about it, and then we put it to bed. And it's time to go back to work. And I thought we had a really spirited practice last night, and we got to have another great one today.
And let's take a look back at the highlights of this exciting game against Clarion. And then during the break, we sent out Marisa Mara to gauge the temperature of the homecoming tailgate in the parking lot, and then we'll be back and preview everything coming up this week. You're watching The Gary Dunn Show right here on CUTV.
Direct snap to Lehu. Lehu being shoved into the end zone for the Vulcan touchdown. Gonzalez to hold. Radcliffe's kick is up. And Radcliffe's kick is good. Empty set. Looking to throw under pressure, rolling now to his left. Has a man open in the end zone. Did he hold on to it? He did. Touchdown, Clarion. Hill. Fade towards the back of the end zone. Pass is caught for the touchdown. Johnson able to haul it in over top of the corner. 4 receivers. Gercio looking to throw. California bringing some pressure. Gercio sidearm throw. Pass is caught. Jones breaks a tackle and into the end zone for the touchdown. Hill under center. Hands it off to Craggett. But Craggett able to fall forward into the end zone for the touchdown. Gercio looking to throw on first down towards the end zone. Intercepted! Nevin Hopkins with the read, pulls it in, and rips that one away. Gercio looking to throw, looking for the end zone. Egan, did he hold on to it? He did. Touchdown, Clarion. They retake the lead. Hill. Airing it out down the field. Pass caught by Williams. Williams able to break a tackle. Williams into the end zone for the touchdown. The miracle has happened. They did it. The time is off the clock. California Magic! Feet in the hill, and the Vulcans walk it off. Deontay Williams at the buzzer.
Hi, I'm Gene Steratore, CBS Rules analyst and longtime sports official. Today, mistreatment of officials has become normalized, and we are facing an abnormal future where no officials to hire means no games on the schedule. And the positive effects of athletic competition are at critical risk for this generation and those to come. Videos showing abusive treatment of officials multiply on social media. And there have been consequences for the dreadful behavior of players, fans, and coaches. Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support.
What's up, Vulcan Nation? My name is Marie Samara, and we're at the Cal U Homecoming Tailgates. I'm here with Bella and Rachel. What are your favorite parts of homecoming weekend?
Mine is for sure the football game.
Mine's making and designing a fabulous float. I'm here with 3 former homecoming queens. When were you queen, and what is your favorite part of homecoming?
Hello, my name is Lisa Caputo, and I was 1991 homecoming queen. My favorite part is getting together with all my friends and ex-boyfriends. No, I'm kidding.
I'm here with the Cal U cheerleaders. What is your favorite part of homecoming weekend? Supporting our queen.
The homecoming parade.
The parade and supporting Rachel.
Hi, I'm Lisa Morrow, Steratore, and I was 1992 homecoming queen. And my best part of coming home for homecoming is, Lisa took my answer, but spending time with these two. And also seeing everybody, and my brother, who he'll get so mad at me for saying this, is Tony Morrow, who also works at California, or Penn West. And I enjoy spending time with everybody here and seeing everybody from the 1990s.
What is your favorite part of homecoming weekend?
This might be biased, but obviously the court king and queen announcement.
Mine would have to be coming back and getting to see all of my friends and sorority sisters.
Getting that 20% discount. It's happening. What's your favorite part of homecoming? It's happening. All right, Nate Holmes, what is your favorite part of homecoming weekend?
I would say the environment and bringing the whole school together for one moment.
Hi, I'm Colleen Schuessler-Mara, and I was homecoming queen in 1993. My favorite part is actually the parade with these 2 girls because we have so much fun in the parade. And when my kids were little, they used to get to be in the parade with me, so that'll always be special to my heart.
And my favorite part of homecoming is the parade and seeing all of our alumni. Thank you for joining me for homecoming. I'm Marie Samara, and let's go Vol.
Play action. Throws it down the field, and wide open is Willis, and Willis, touchdown, Vulcans. Little option play, decides to keep it. Ball's punched out on the ground, not sure who has it, and it looks like it will be Vulcans football. Under play action, ball's intercepted. Looks like by number 4, Rashawn Murray. Kick is up. And it is good this time. I-4 hands it off to Younger. And the touchdown for the Crimson Hawks. Takes a snap. Kick is blocked. It's blocked. The ball is taken. Not sure exactly who had it. Kick is up, past the line this time, and it's good. That kick is up. And it's good. Drops back the pass. Is going to keep it himself. Take it up the middle. Touchdown. Touchdown, Vulcans.
And welcome back to the Gary Dunn Show. You just saw highlights from Clarion. You saw what happened in people's memories at homecoming. Then you saw the highlights of last year's exciting game against this week's opponent, IEP. And before we bring Coach back on, we're going to wrap up everything that happened in the PSA this past weekend. First with the scoreboard, California Clarion, we just talked about, Cal 31, Clarion 28. Lock Haven over Westchester 28-21. Seton Hill over Gannon 28-14. Kutztown over Millersville 43-14. Fairmont State over Edinburgh 35-30. Slippery Rock over IEP 30-27. Shepherd 37, Bloom 13. And then East Stroudsburg 24, Shippensburg 7. We'll take a look at the PSAC standings, and we'll bring Coach back in 3 weeks left of the season. We have 2 conference games. I mean, it's tightening up on both sides, East and West.
Sure. It's every week in the PSAC is a grind, and a lot of one-possession games, a lot of close games. It's just it's. I talked to our guys last year. It's about who shows up and does the right thing. We gotta eliminate the mental mistakes that we're making. We've got to eliminate the bonehead plays. We've got to coach better. We've got to do a better job of being more detailed on the coaching staff to get our guys to do exactly what we need them to do. But this time of year is really about looking in, not looking out. It's really about what do you do well, what can you improve on, and how can you take advantage of things.
And one last little bit of housekeeping from last week. 2 of your players were named PSAC Athletes of the Week. Peyton Hill, Offensive Athlete of the Week, and then Cedric Vessa, Special Teams Athlete of the Week. And we're going to turn the page now, Coach, to IUP. This is I believe the 16th or 17th annual Coal Bowl. IUP coming off a loss to Slippery Rock 30-27 at Slippery Rock, and their 2 losses are combined 7 points. So it seems like a broken record every year. It's going to be a tough game. We know they're a tough team, but I know starting at 8 in the morning on Sunday, you and your staff started looking at film. What do they have on the offensive side?
The most complete team we've played to date. They are a super talented team. They've got some experience offensively. Weapons all over the place. They've got probably the best receiving core, and include a tight end in. They've got a kid that's playing tight end that was a receiver, so he creates some matchup problems. Very explosive offense, scoring probably 37 points a game. Really, really dynamic offensively. The one thing they're not doing a great job of right now is running the ball, but they have a super screen package, and they flip it to guys. So a lot of their passing yards are really rushing yards. They're not traditional IUP going to line up and run it at you the entire time. They're spread. They're just a solid offense. I think the quarterback does a great job of letting his guys make plays for him. It's going to be a tough test for our defense. They're a dynamic offense. Defensively athletic. I mean, they got athletes all over the field. They're going to base out of a 4 down front. They do a lot of different coverages. Probably blitzing a little bit more this year than they have in the past. IUP's never been a huge blitz team. They're going to bring pressure at times. I see probably more blitz this year than in previous years, and that tells me they like their cover guys. When you see a team that starts to blitz more than they typically do, maybe a little bit outside of their scheme, it tells me they like their cover guys. But they've got athletes all over the place. I think they're really good up front, best D-line that we've faced. So but like I said earlier, we got to look at us. What do we do well? What can we do better? How can we improve what we're doing? A lot of times it's based on what you do, but they're as talented as anybody we've played this year.
IUP on the offensive side, led by their quarterback, Matt Reeve, 1,841 yards, 18 touchdowns. You mentioned the rushing game may not be their strength. They're led with 217 yards with a 3-touchdown rusher. And then you referenced their receivers, Maurice Massey And Devin Whitlock, Massey 532 yards, 6 touchdowns, and Whitlock 436, 2 TDs. So, and you were saying that's where a lot of their damage is going to come from.
Yeah, and a lot of their screen package stuff and their jet sweep stuff, and it's considered a pass, but it's really an extension of their run game. They do a really good job of that, and they got guys that are really good in space. When they get their hands in the ball, they're really good in space and really dynamic. So we've got to tackle well. And we've got to leverage things well. I mean, those are going to be the two keys for our defense is our leverage has got to be right. And when we have opportunities to make tackles in the open field, because they're going to create one-on-one matchups, they're going to create, play action shots down the middle of the field with post routes. And we've got to be very detailed in our assignments, and we've got to tackle well.
And we always talk about playing 60 minutes, and this rivalry, more so than any in the last 10 years, has come down to something in the last 30 seconds to the last play of the game. And, that's just a testament to how good the two teams have been and how intense the rivalry is.
Yeah, I think we just came off a crazy game, but it feels like every time we play these guys, there's something that you've never seen before. There's 2 out of the last 3 years. It's something I've never seen before in 30 years of coaching college football has happened. But we just got to control our emotions, and we've got to play the next play and understand that some things are going to go against us and some things are going to go for us, and we just got to play 60 minutes.
And going into a hostile environment at IUP, we always know that is a tough place to play. What's the message to the team just to get prepared for that?
It's just be who we are. I know our guys will be excited to play. It's about our details. It's about the next play and doing the things the way we need to do them is the key.
Let's take a look at the PSAC schedule for this weekend as we come towards the end of October. It's hard to believe, but a full slate of PSAC games. Of course, the Cal IUP games, the one we care the most about, 2 o'clock kickoff from IUP, and then a slate of games at noon, Edinboro at Gannon, Kutztown and Westchester, Bloomsburg, Millersville, East Stroudsburg at Shepherd. There's one lone 1 o'clock game, Lock Haven at Shippensburg, and then Seton Hill and Clarion. That is the other 2 o'clock game. Coach, it's not a long trip to IUP.
No, it is not.
How do we get those people in the parking lot up to Indiana?
It's funny. I've heard from countless alumni that are going to be there this weekend. I think this is, we talk about it every year, a great rivalry game, regional rivalry. It's not Penn State, UCLA, and West Virginia, Kansas State, or Pitt, and whoever the heck they're, it's great. And so we're going to have a lot of alumni there, old and young. But come on out. This group's going to fight. This group's going to compete. And IUP is a really good football team, so we got to go play well.
And make sure it's going to be, I think the temperature's around 50 degrees this week. So, let's make sure everyone has some red and black on. Jackets this time of year are going to be different colors, but let's fill that visiting sideline at IUP with the red and black. If you can't make the trip, CUTV is planning on being there, weather permitting. Right now, the weather looks good.
What is this weather permitting thing? I've never heard that from you.
We have to be
I've never heard weather permitting.
Where IUP's press box.
So you're basically saying you're a fair weather fan. If it's bad weather, you're not coming. Is that what I'm hearing?
We just don't want anyone electrocuted on the far sideline.
Gotcha.
But weather looks good. We'll snow by Thursday. So go to calvulcans.com for the link, but you can also catch the game live on CUTV Sports 1, PSAC Digital Network, and Armstrong and Breezeline. So anything else?
Yeah, let's see everybody up in Indiana.
Sounds good. And like I said, weather permitting, we'll be up there. Looks good right now. No rain. But for Coach Dunn, I'm Gary Smith. We'll see you next week on The Gary Dunn Show.